Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra at the heart center. And as you inhale, sweep the arms down and up. And exhale back to the heart. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Last time. And then bringing your hands to the fronts of the legs, bending the knees, sliding down and up, hinging at the hips. Keeping the spine straight and strong. Go one more time like this. And come back up to standing. Now, if you have a yoga block, you can get on the block like this. If you do not have a yoga block, just pay attention to how you're grounding and rooting into the earth. Otherwise, hug the block and lengthen the spine and bring your hands to the heart center here. And this time, inhale. Bring the arms up, lift the heart up, look up towards the ceiling, and exhale, bring the hands down the midline. So we're going to do this a few times. So hugging the block, engaging and releasing the bandhas here. Inhale, engage the bandhas, hug the block, exhaling here. So it's this gentle pulsating into Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha. Because again, the bandhas help ground our energy. They pull us back into our body, and they help regulate, believe it or not, the autonomic nervous system. They can help drop you back into your parasympathetic, simply by engaging the root lock, the pit of the belly. One more time. And then bring your hands low on your hips, staying on the block. I'm just going to turn sideways so you can see. We're just going to hinge forward and lift up. So tipping the pelvis towards the thighs. Again, if you're not hugging the block, press into the feet and hug the muscles to the bone, just to create that sensation of grounding, of being fully in your legs. And notice the condition of your hamstrings without judgment or expectations. Just notice where you are in your body in this way. This can give you a lot of information about the stress that you're carrying. Because a lot of times the stress or tension that we hold in our bodies, it is unconscious. We don't even know it's there. And that's one of the reasons why frequent shorter yoga practices are really more helpful than a really long practice once a week or twice a week, because you recalibrate your energy every time you practice. Go one more time. And then come back up to standing and bring those hands to the heart center. And inhale, sweep the arms up. And then exhale, bring the arms out to a T. Rotate the palms and hinge forward. Bring palms of the hands towards each other. Inhale, come back up, roll the palms up, bring the hands up to the ceiling and down the midline. Inhale, the arms come down and up, reach long here. Exhale, half forward fold, rolling the palms towards the ceiling. Inhale as you come back up. And exhale down the midline. Keep going like this. Inhale. Exhale as you hinge forward. Inhale up. And exhale. So see if you can feel the energetic of this. Take your time. Make sure your face is relaxed. You're not clenching the jaws. You're not lifting your shoulders up. You're simply moving through your body with relaxed effort. Go one more time. And then stand in mountain pose. If you're on a block, go ahead and just take that block out and come back to your mountain pose. Otherwise, just stay here strong and notice. Now go ahead and stick your feet out wide. And the toes just need to be where it's comfortable for you. So how far in or how far out your toes are, it's up to you. We're going to do that bent knee forward fold with the wide legs. So bend the knees, let your sits bones come back, and slide your hands down towards your ankle, tipping the pelvis towards the thighs and sliding back up. So keep going like this. Hinging forward and back up. And the next time you hinge down, bend your knees as much as you need to be able to get the wrists underneath the shoulders. The knees are bent, they're coming out towards the sides, and the sits bones are back. Just stay here for a few breaths. Now, go ahead and bring the knees as close to straight as you can, hinging at the hips, lengthening the back, and then bend the knees again. So you're squatting down. You'll feel a release in the hamstrings here as the quads and the rotators work. And then as you straighten the knees, you'll feel the hamstrings lengthening the pelvis, tipping towards the thighs. One more time, squatting down. One more time to straight. And then just bend the knees a little bit, bring the palms of the hands onto the ankles, press the hands into the shins and slide on up. Bring your hands low on your hips, and we're just going to do this gentle twisting in the hip joints from side to side. So this is to soothe the hip bone, the hip joint, not the hip bone, the femur bone, where it inserts into the hip socket. So it's a ball, and it's called a ball and socket joint. And the femur bone on the leg is the ball, and the round insertion side of the hips, that's the socket. And we want to encourage those joints to secrete synovial fluid. And then bring that to a close. Bring your arms down, lengthen the spine. So we're going to move into goddess pose. So again, if you want to adjust those toes so they're out or out as far as you want them, the idea with goddess pose is to bend the knees. The knees go out to the sides this way, and you try to drop straight down. If you can't drop down without the knees doing this, then just bring your sits bones back to make space for those knees. Okay. So bring your arms up into this 5-pointed star. Feel the radiant energy of this. This is powerful. Just because it's radiant, just because you're shining it out and giving it away, doesn't mean that it isn't powerful. But here, engage the root block, the pit of the belly, bend the elbows, bend the knees. Feel the strength and the power. So this is fairly threatening. It's a threatening pose. It's goddess pose. We're saying we've got the power. Inhale, straighten. And exhale. The knees coming out to the side in line with the second toe. And inhale back. And exhale. And inhale. And this time, come into goddess pose and just stay here. Come back to your star. Lower the arms and heel toe and step in and just rock back and forth. So from here, we're going to go into Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. So I'm sorry, Warrior 2. I can't talk and walk at the same time. Okay, so Warrior 2. So step your feet out. Turn your right toes out towards the short end of the mat here and press into the left leg and bring your arms up. Go ahead and bend that right knee coming into the pose. So the right leg is working just like it did in goddess pose, but the left leg is working differently. And then press back to straight. Bring the arms down. So flowing in and out of this. Warrior 2. This is inhale and exhale. And the next time you come to Warrior 2, stay here. And just bring the right arm in, the left arm up and over. We're going to stay here. So in this side ankle pose, the pelvis tips. See, these are my 2 hip bones. So if you're keeping this straight and just bending here, you can see how prana gets blocked. So if you lengthen and tip here, you can see prana flowing all the way up and down. Just see if you can feel that. Lengthening the spine, tipping the pelvis, stacking one hip bone on top of the other. And then come back up to Warrior 2. And then reverse warrior, dropping the left arm, bringing the right arm up. And again, you're lengthening. Now there is a little bend here along the left side body, but you want to think about bending up and over, like you're coming up and over a great big ball over here on the left side as you breathe here. Coming back to Warrior 2. And lower the arms, straighten the knees and heel toes, step in and stand in mountain pose and just feel the difference between the right and the left side of the body. So, according to the theory of the chakras, the right side of the body is Pingala. It's a more solar, masculine kind of energy. And on the left side of the body, it's Ida, which is lunar, a more feminine kind of energy. And these two energies like crisscross back and forth across the central energy channel. And every place they cross that, it creates the chakra or an energy wheel. So breathe in here. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, bend the knees, draw the hands down the midline, coming into power pose, Utkatasana. Inhale as you press up. And as you exhale, bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. Inhale, the arms come down and up. Exhale, bend the knees, draw the hands down the midline. Inhale, back up. And exhale to the heart. Go one more time. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. And exhale. And Tadasana. And setting up for Warrior Two on the left side. So turning out the left toes, pressing into the feet, lengthening the spine, trying to keep your hips as square as possible to the long end of the mat. Bending the left knee, coming into the pose. We'll stay here for a breath or two, and then we'll come in. And then straighten the knee, the arms come down. And bend as the arms come out. So you may notice a difference between the left and the right side for you. And if you do, I say, welcome to the human race. That's pretty common. And try to just notice the difference, and then try to allow the body to work in a way that compensates for those differences. So one side of the body might work a little bit differently than the other side. Make sure you're breathing with the movement. I like to inhale here and exhale here. And the next time you come into the pose, stay here and breathe. And then we're going to slowly move into the side angle pose. See if you can feel these two hip points stacking, one on top of the other, and then reach. So even though this left arm is here, you're not sinking down into that arm. You're actually pressing into it a little bit to help you lengthen and engage those muscles that support the spine. You're creating a closed chain contraction. And breathing here. If you release the pressure on that arm, you'll feel how much harder these muscles have to work. And then if you just push slightly, it helps you hug those muscles to the bone. Slowly make your way back to Warrior Two. And then take that reverse warrior. So in the transition here, take your time and get your alignment as perfect as you can get it in the transition, because there's more fluidity, there's more potential, there's more space to get it right in the transition. It's a lot more difficult to get into the pose and then make those adjustments. You can, but it's the hard way of doing it. And it does create more wear and tear on the body. Now come back to Warrior Two. Lower the arms, straighten the knee. Go ahead and heel toe, step in, and just rock back and forth. And then come back to mountain pose, and we'll go through Utkatasana 3 times. Inhale down and up. Exhale. Inhale as you press up. And exhale to the heart center. 2 more times. And last time, inhale up, exhale, Utkatasana. Inhaling back up, exhale to the heart center, and then again coming to mountain pose. Feeling the earth under your feet, hugging the muscles to the bone, and then feel the breath. Now, go ahead and turn towards the short end of the mat and bring your right foot forward and your left foot back in a warrior one stance. So in warrior two, the hips are like this. Notice where my feet don't really have to change at all to be in warrior one. It's all in this pivot of the hip. So go ahead and bend this right knee, bring it right over the ankle, and then open. So we're just going to practice that hip pivot. So the trick is to keep this right knee where it is and to open the left hip. And so there's some fluidity that's required in the ankle for that to happen. And then pivot back. So you can think about drawing your thighs towards each other. That'll bring the hips back to square with the short end. And then press into both feet so your legs are stabilizing and open to warrior two. And back to one. We'll do this 2 more times. So we're just trying to, this part is really a matter of getting the muscles to engage, to move the body and support the body in this way. And it's really okay if your hips are such that your opening is only here. If that's where it is, that's okay as long as you're engaging the muscles to have that range of motion. Now, go ahead and hinge forward, push off this left foot and step forward. And then we'll set up for the left side. So bring your left foot forward, your right foot back, pressing into the forefeet, activating the arches, bend the left knee. I like to put my hands on my right hand on my right hip, my left hand on my left knee, because that helps me. First, it just helps me draw my awareness to those parts, and then opening that right hip to the right, and then back to center, and opening to the right, and back to center. The left knee is staying right where it is. Keep going. So there's so just keep going. And one more time, opening the hips to the long end. And one more, drawing the thighs energetically towards each other, coming to that warrior one stance, and then hinge forward, step forward, and then just rock back and forth. So one of the reasons I like this pose, this flow, is because it is such a weird way to work the body. And anytime you're doing something unusual, it just helps us draw our attention into our physicality, what we can do, and the limitations of what we can do, and how to engage those muscles to change the body. That we can change the body slowly over time in incremental steps. Okay, so come back to the warrior one with your right foot forward and your left foot back, and square the hips, press into the feet, And then bend the right knee and go ahead and come into your warrior one. Stay here. And then bring your arms forward in front of you like a Frankenstein and bring the palms together. Now slide your left hand across the right arm, across the collarbone. Touch this left shoulder with the left hand and then open up, coming into warrior two. Bring the arms up. Pivot your hips forward. Take your time. Bring the arms forward into Frankenstein, palms together, sliding that left hand. And when you get to the collarbone, the hips start coming with that left hand, and you open up, warrior two. Bring your arms up, pivoting forward. Bringing the arms forward, palms together. Last time, sliding open into warrior two. Bringing the arms down, straightening the knee, heel toe, step in, and bring your feet underneath your hips. Activate the arches, and this time bend the knees and slide down and up 3 times, hinging at the hips. And again, you may feel a difference between one side and then the other. Once more. And then come back to standing and step your feet out. Turning your left toes out. Pressing into the four corner. Oops, I'm sorry. Warrior one. Bring your left foot forward, your right foot back into warrior one. And go ahead and bend the left knee. Bring the arms up, coming into warrior one. Virabhadrasana one. Now bring the arms forward like Frankenstein, palms together, slide the right hand over the left, and as you get to the shoulders, start pivoting that right hip open, the left knee stays where it is. There's your warrior two. So it may not feel like a warrior two that you stepped into, but try to get it to feel like a warrior two by engaging your muscles in that way. And then lift the arms up. Just stay here for a few breaths in warrior two with your arms up. And then slowly pivot the hips. There you are in warrior one. Bringing the arms to Frankenstein, palms together, and sliding open. So see how smooth and fluid. There's that transition. Take your time with that. And then the arms come up and you pivot forward into warrior one. And bringing the arms down, palms together. And again, sliding open to warrior two. And then lower the arms, straighten the knee, and go ahead and heel toe, step the feet in, and rock from side to side. So bring your feet back to Tadasana and bring your hands back to Anjali Mudra. And we're gonna go from a half and we're just gonna melt into a full forward fold and come right back up. We're not gonna stay. So in this pose, so watch for just a second. You wanna get this half forward fold in. So you wanna get this 90-degree angle. Then see if you can go a little further with the flat back. And then when you release, you want to lengthen the back body and then come back up to the half forward fold and lift all the way up. Okay. And we're going to add, well, let's do it just without the arms first. So bring your hands low on your hips and lengthen. Hinge forward. So find that 90-degree and then keep tipping the pelvis, lengthen the spine. Your sits bones will roll up and then release the upper back, looking between the knees, and then come back to the flat back and come all the way up. Now bring your hands to the heart center. Inhale, lift up. And as you exhale, bring the arms out to the side. Keep the heart open. The arms stay out to the side through the half forward fold. And then as you release the arms, sweep down towards the earth. Bring the arms back to the side, back to half forward fold all the way up. And hands down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale. Fold forward fold. Inhale all the way up, hands down the midline. So you want to hit all those points of alignment and glide right through them. You don't want to skip over anything. Exhaling forward and inhaling up, hands down the midline. We'll go one more time. Inhale and exhale. Inhale up, down the midline, hands to the side. Stepping your feet out and just rocking back and forth or staying still. And then bring this to a close and go ahead and make your way down onto your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. We're just going to do a couple little things on the floor before we go into Shavasana. So if you have a bolster or something you want underneath your thighs or anything you'd like to have for Shavasana, go ahead and get that. And just come on down onto your back. And just take some breaths here. Notice where you're holding tension and release that. And then bring the right knee into the chest, lace your fingers over the shin, lift the left leg straight up. Go ahead and point and flex those toes. And then make big ankle circles going one direction. And then reverse, making big ankle circles going the opposite direction. And then flex the foot, reach through the heel, and slowly release that leg down. Hug that right knee a little bit more. Reach through the left heel. Lengthen the back of the neck. So if your chin is lifting towards the wall behind you, just lift your head up, tuck the chin, and bring the back of the head down towards the mat and relax the shoulders down into the earth. So bend the left knee into the chest and lace your fingers over the left shin. Straighten the right leg. Reach, reach, reach. And go ahead and point and flex the toes. And then make big ankle circles going in one direction. Reverse, making big ankle circles going the other way. Bring that to a close. Flex both feet and slowly lower the right leg as you hug the left knee in. Releasing the back of the neck, the shoulders into the earth, and breathe in here. When you're ready, bend the right knee into the chest. And bring the palms of the hands onto the kneecaps and just make big hip circles like this, massaging the low back into the earth. And then reverse, going back the other way. And then bring that to a close. Flex your feet, press them up to the ceiling, reaching through the heels. If you want to bring your hands down to the side, you can. And Supta Dandasana. And whenever you're ready, bend the knees, lower one foot and then the other. If you have something you want to put under your thighs, do that. And make your way into Shavasana, rolling the palms of the hands up towards the ceiling. Allow the earth to cradle and support you. And allow the breath to nourish and restore.